Abby, you ready? Sorry, Martha. Okay, welcome to the Board of Park Commissioners meeting for, this is a joint meeting with the Recreation Board for Tuesday, April 2nd. Please call the roll.
Mr. Gappers?
Here.
Mr. Emmerich?
Here.
Mrs. Westfall? Here. Mr. Hobart? Mr. Dunn? Mr. Jackson? Mrs. Reed? Mr. Herman?
Here.
Okay, we have the minutes of our March 5th meeting before us. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to those minutes? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept those minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They stand accepted. Jeremy, welcome. Do you have anything to add to your report today?
Thank you. No, I do not.
Okay. Well, that was quick. I've got a question for you.
Please.
The last item on your report, conducted full body harness and fall arrest training.
Yeah, so that was
What's fall arrest
inter-department training for my guys. Obviously, my crew operates our bucket truck doing forestry operations. So that was an inter-department training that I conducted for fall arrest to teach about how to put a harness on, how to fit that harness properly, and how to arrest a fall with the harness and the lanyard if that were ever to happen. So
arrest meaning stop
yes,
the fall,
stop
not
the fall.
put in
Correct.
handcuffs.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was just. I came from the Ohio Tree Care Conference that I attended in February. There were some updates that came out of that and one of the talks I had set in on, so I wanted to be sure our department was up to date on the ANSI standards and how to fit the harnesses properly, and so we went ahead and did that with the whole department.
Great, thank you. Any questions of our park superintendent?
No, just out of curiosity, in Duke Park, left of the entrance, was that cleaned up? Because we walked there a lot and it looked like there were a lot of tracks around the pond.
Yeah, so not yet. It has been way too wet to be able to get equipment in to do that. We actually had a truck get stuck in there plowing snow.
Okay, that's
so yeah, so that's on the to-do list, but we can't. It's just so saturated we can't get into to do that yet. Yeah.
Just curious.
Any other questions? Okay, Mr. Seiler, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Do you have anything to add to your report?
We've had a couple concerts and an ice racing event the last 3 weeks at the arena. They were all very well attended and went well. Staff has been working the last couple days on removing the ice for the season. And Winter Guard International groups started practicing this afternoon, and we'll be using the building over the next couple weeks for their practices. And next Thursday we have a competition event at the arena as well. So a lot of things happening at the arena. We're continuing to sell season passes for the pool, and program registrations for all of our summer programs started today as well.
Is that Winter Guard competition, is that associated with the same Winter Guard as going on down at UD?
Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, they use facilities all over the Miami Valley.
Very good. Any questions, Mr. Seiler?
No.
Mr. Brewer, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Do you have anything to add to your report?
Just to give an update kind of on where we are with the building. Yeah, so right now we've started to paint the interior, which is going really well so far. Floor prep is being done, so that's just a matter of continuing to get that to dry out. We'll do some patchwork in some areas. The parts that were, part of the old building, there's still some areas on that concrete that are uneven, so there's a little bit of patchwork that needs to be done before they actually put down final flooring. Exterior concrete work will start next week. That'll include a little, a 50 by 50 pad for cart staging, as well as some other areas around the building, walkway down to where the carts are going to be, and some work on the back side of the building as well. Exterior siding's all done, the roof is closed in, the HVAC system is operational, so there is heat in the building, and yeah, I think that's all as far as the building goes. Driving range opened up yesterday, so sun is out today, and quite a few people are out using it, so happy about that.
How about the T-signs? Can you give us an update on that?
Sure. The final draft on that has been sent to Tim Boutwell of Golf Graphics to sign, so I think their party is just reviewing that to make sure there's no discrepancies there. And as soon as we get that back from him, then we'll move forward with, or he'll move forward with beginning to advertise and things like that. So timeline, I'm not exactly sure right now when when the signs will get made. That'll be a matter of how long it takes to get him to fill the advertising spots.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of Mr. Brewer? Okay, Planning Commission report. At one of our past meetings, we approved fees in lieu for subdivision that's behind Kroger's, between Kroger's and Wayne Street. The Planning Commission has not approved that preliminary plan, so I'm just letting you know that. Mr. Herman, did you want to mention anything from the recreation side? No. Okay, thank you. New business. Mr. Tinnington, the first thing that's on the agenda here is considering support for declaring a surplus. Would you like to address that, sir? Oh, very good.
Thank you. In 2013, the Huelskamp Farm was purchased, and within that purchase, the house and some outbuildings were included in the sale, which it was always the intent that we would then turn around and sell the house and the outbuildings to offset some of the costs of buying that property. There are currently no tenants in the house. We checked with the park department. They don't have any use for it. The city does not have any use for it. And so we would like you to support declaring the house and the outbuildings surplus.
Okay. And this is a recommendation to City Council to go ahead and put that on its agenda.
Yes.
To go ahead and declare the surplus.
Yes.
Susan, did you take the tour to go through that house?
I was in it years ago because I knew them,
Okay.
but I have not been in it recently.
We as a prior board did take a tour of that, and I can understand why we don't have any use for it. So, any questions of Ms. Hale? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You've been requested to consider supporting declaring that as surplus property for sale. Do you have any discussion items you want to talk about on that? If not, I'd entertain a motion one way or the other.
I'll make a motion to consider declaring a surplus.
And recommending that to City Council?
Yes.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a
I second that.
Any further discussion? Abby, please call the roll.
Mr. Cappers?
Yes?
Mr. Emmerich?
Yes.
Mrs. Westphal?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Hale, do you want to go ahead and take that to the next step then? Thank you. We have a request from the Troy Senior Citizens Center to go ahead and secure permission to close the parking lot adjacent to the Troy Senior Citizens for June 1st and June 2nd. That would be their Strawberry Festival work. We've done that in the past. Jeremy, is there any problem with doing that again? Okay. I'll make a motion to go ahead and grant permission to the Troy Senior Citizens to close the parking lot to anyone other than their center workers during the Strawberry Festival.
I second that.
Any further discussion? Abby, please call the roll.
Mr. Cappers?
Yes?
Mr. Emmerich?
Yes.
Mrs. Westphal?
Yes.
Next thing on the agenda is a discussion concerning Bruckner Park. I think we have with us some representatives of the library here. Would one of you like to make a short presentation? I see Mr. Lindeman getting up. I remember I said short presentation.
David Lindeman, 2127 Peters Road. Our director and a few board members are here as well today. And just to repeat, we were here last month, and we are hoping to be able to complete a major expansion to the library. In order to be able to do that in our current location, we would need to utilize the space that is now Bruckner Park. And so that's why we've come to you for the machinery needs to be done so that we could take not take possession, but you're the lawyer, you know the legal term, so that we could then go ahead and get our plans started to make that expansion.
Okay. Any questions of the library representative? Thank you, Mr. Lindeman. We've had a month to think about this individually since the presentation of last month. And is there any discussion that the two of you want to have concerning that? I personally...
Can I be heard on that issue?
Okay. Yes. Come forward. Who are you?
Todd Sievert. I'm here on behalf of the Rotary Club.
Okay.
The Rotary Club became aware of this through the paper and through some issues. We talked to our executive board. I don't know that we are adamantly opposed to the expansion. We're adamantly opposed to giving up Bruckner Park. That has a long-standing history. That gazebo cost the Rotary Club thousands and thousands of dollars. Recently, we just put almost $8,000 back into the park. At this time, the members of the executive board have directed me to come to this body and explain that that is not something that we take lightly, that we would like to maintain that facility if at all possible. If there is no other alternative, we'd like to begin discussions with Park Board or the library for replication of that at a different location. But at this stage, the Rotary, I understand this, well, truly, I just got a memo from Grant. I guess it's really a city council meeting, which unfortunately I'm on, so I'll have to recuse myself on this issue. But I am here today not in a city council capacity, but solely as president of the Troy Rotary, and in response to the executive board asking that there be some consideration to the contributions of Clayton Bruckner, who was a long-standing founding member, well, he wasn't a founding member, but a long-standing member of Troy Rotary. I'm sure you guys have observed the facility. The center seal of Rotary is in the center of the gazebo. It's probably 10 feet, 15 feet in diameter. Rotary is throughout that that whole area. The little placard for Clayton Bruckner indicates his desire to give that to Rotary, and we would ask that all of that be into consideration, that at this time Rotary would be in objection to giving up that aspects of the park for this purpose, but we would be amenable to engaging in some discussions about alternatives.
Have you been in any discussions with the library representatives on this?
Yeah, we just had an executive board meeting on the end of last week, so I don't know. I mean, I know Dave Lindeman, and I think Rochelle is a member of Rotary, so we have lots of people that are in here. Literally, I just found out about this, and we had a quick exec board meeting, so.
This was a consideration that was taken last month, information concerning the contributions that Troy Rotary has made to the park, and we didn't take those lightly. There was some consideration also being made in the plans of the expansion, if they were to occur, that there would also be some consideration for placing a memorial then to Clayton Bruckner and things of that nature. So hopefully that can happen.
Yeah, and that's the purpose of today. And I literally got out of court 10 minutes ago and came straight to here. So I will be glad to talk to Rochelle or Dave or anybody else in a minute. But I've been instructed by our board, and we have some members on our board that are kind of old school, stick in the mud people that say, look, you got to remember this was for this specific purpose. I think it was 1977 when this was put together. So. They really feel strongly that we need to memorialize the contributions of Mr. Bruckner.
Have they considered the fact that it can be memorialized in such a fashion to still accommodate the request of the library?
I think we could probably start to have some discussions along that line. Right. Yeah, I mean, it's all economic. I mean, it's all economics. I mean, that's not a $5,000 gazebo. It's probably a $50,000 gazebo, so we need to sit down and see what they're willing to contribute and where we would go. We would want to keep, he was very involved with designing that gazebo with the Rotary symbol in the center and that stuff, so that's what they would like to see happen. But we're open. We're not here being inflexible. We're here to state our position as the board has directed me to do.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Any counterpoint from the library representatives?
Just to say at the top, we're very open to working with Rotary, and we'll be glad to come sit down and talk with you guys at any point. I've already had somebody approach me on the street about some of the memorial trees, and there's people that I knew up there too. George Gerkley's is one of the memorial trees, and we were already trying to figure out how we can replant or redo those, and we can certainly talk about the gazebo and Mr. Bruckner's. We'll come up with something I think that would be,
Okay.
make everybody happy.
And as I indicated last month, this decision doesn't stand with us. We make a recommendation to City Council, and we're certainly not going to make a recommendation until we see your plans. So what we talked about doing last month is a motion of intent to approve upon certain conditions. And I'll make that motion that we would go ahead and intend to recommend to City Council the transfer to the Miami County Public Library of the property, retaining a reversionary interest in that property, prohibiting advertising to third parties on that property, and all contingent upon the approval of your plans to build and to accommodate the Troy Rotary memorializing their intentions, and retain the $50,000 gazebo if we can do so. So I'll make that motion. Is there support for that motion?
Yeah, I'll definitely second that then.
Okay, any further discussion? And Abby, that was an intent to recommend the council.
Which we'd already done, right? Or
No,
we hadn't
done that.
recommended it?
Right,
All right.
because we need to have something else covered before us. Okay, please call the roll.
Mr. Cappers?
Yes.
Mr. Emmerich?
Yes.
Mrs. Westphal?
Yes.
Motion.
Okay, Mr. Tenrington, do you have anything else you want to bring up before the commission? Mrs. Knight, anything? No, sir. Mr. Kegley, do you have anything you want to bring up to the commission? Come forward, please.
I would be remiss if I can invite the members of the Park Board and Recreation Board to the upcoming River Summit that will be on April the 19th at Hobart Arena. First time it will be held at Hobart Arena. We currently have 40 vendors scheduled to be inside Hobart Arena for this wonderful event. The River Summit's goal is to create awareness of the Riverway and opportunities along the riverfront and how they can be developed and expanded. Our keynote speaker this year is Katie Jacobson from the Colorado Department of Tourism to share with what things Colorado is doing and how they can benefit us. I understand some special guests are coming this year. The director of the Ohio Department of Tourism is coming to see what the people in Colorado are doing and how it can benefit the state of Ohio. And currently I understand on the calendar of the Ohio Department of Tourism's boss may be coming as well, and that would be the governor of the state of Ohio, which would be kind of nice. We all know how governor calendars are, though. They tend to be quite fluid. So we hope the governor can make it, but we understand how those things happen. So I want to extend that again, April the 19th at Hobart Arena. If you'd like to attend, you can certainly go to the Great Miami Riverway website and sign up to attend if you so desire. I just want to share that with you. Thank you very much.
Is this something, Mr. Cayley, that the Beautification Committee would be interested in, or is this too outside the scope of what they do?
Say that again.
The Beautification Committee for the City of Troy.
They certainly could. Mostly this is about development opportunities and expansion opportunities along the riverfront.
Very good.
Things affecting parks, of course, development along the riverfront, opportunities, possibilities, those kind of things. So it may not quite fit the beautification's goals of what they wish to intend to
Any
do.
questions of Mr. Cagley?
No.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else have anything to bring before the commission? Mr. Davis, you're back there sleeping? Or do you want anything before the commission?
Nothing.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, I made a motion.
No.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you for your